Today's graduation address will be given by Dr Anne Meade, Director of her own educational consultancy, Meade Associates. Dr Anne Meade graduated from Victoria with a trained teacher's certificate, a Bachelor of Arts with first-class honours, and a PhD in Sociology. Anne has focused on early childhood education for most of a career spanning over 30 years as a teacher of young children, a researcher, a lecturer, an author, and a policy developer. These days, Anne is a self-employed consultant specialising in educational research, advice and writing with a focus on early childhood education. Her projects take her overseas as well as around New Zealand. She was awarded a Queen's Service Order in 1991 and made Companion of the New Zealand Order of Merit in 2008. In 2009, she was recognised as a Distinguished Alumnus of Victoria. She is currently a research project leader for Te Tari Puna Ora o Aotearoa, the New Zealand Childcare Association. It is my pleasure to invite Dr Anne Meade to give the graduation address. Tēnā koe, Chancellor. Tēnā koe, Vice-Chancellor. Tēnā koutou katoa to my colleagues behind me, and tēnā koutou katoa to the proud graduates and to their families and friends. This is a very special day for graduates and their families and friends, and it's a wonderful occasion to say congratulations to those of you who have achieved this educational success of obtaining a degree at one level or another. It's a pleasure to join in sharing the celebrations that are going on today. I was thinking about what the graduates that are here today have in common, and decided that you've all been involved in making sense of our social world and learning to help students make sense of the world if you're in the education faculty. I hope that's a valid summing up. And I too have been in the game of sense-making throughout my career as both a sociologist and as an educator. These days, my working life is a very unusual mix of enjoying the magical minds of very young children and the adult world of educational research and policy development. I teach young children occasionally on the days when I can leave my office job, and I do spend quite a bit of my time in an early childhood centre. My office job involves research, writing, policy development for early childhood education, and the employment of women. I'll add that to what Penny has said about me. And some of the graduates who will walk from here today into the world of teaching could perhaps do the opposite. You could have opportunities to get involved in research and policy work, and the Chancellor has left us in no doubt of the value of the research that happens from this organisation, this university. And you could leave the magical minds of the children of whatever educational institution you're teaching in at times. If you get such an opportunity, which I was given, I would say take up those opportunities. This graduation has made me recall occasions when I've been offered amazing opportunities because of my higher education and because of my career path. One was as a Fulbright senior scholar in the US. One day, Wayne State University Medical School flew me across the prairies to Detroit to speak to a group of neuroscientists about how New Zealand early childhood teachers have developed expertise in identifying children's exploration of schemas related to the forms in our built world. The neuroscientists were fascinated to learn that early childhood teachers have expertise in A, detecting when toddlers are engaged in perceptual learning about lines, curves, solids, planes and objects in motion, and in extending this sort of sense-making in children into complex conscious thought. It was a revelation to those medical people. That afternoon, those medical specialists had re-seen young children and their competence, and had re-seen the work of early childhood teachers, and there's many of you here in the audience. That journey to Detroit began for me in studying at Victoria to become a teacher and a social scientist. My amazing journeys have continued. The most exotic one was my journey to Doha in the state of Qatar in the Arabian Gulf, where I spent several months helping their government develop policy and to assist with the professional development of dedicated Arabic kindergarten teachers. Living in Doha in an Arabic, Islamic, desert, male-dominated, non-democratic society challenged me in many ways to attend to sense-making in and about their very different world. Now, even though I'm regarded as a leader in my field, the complexity of that transition to a hugely different socio-political and cultural world was extraordinary. Now, you're probably having some feelings about complexity if you're just beginning into your career world. Others of you are well down the track, because I know many in the education faculty at least are mature students. Many of you are leaders or you're work-in-progress leaders. Jenny Garvey-Berger, now living in Wellington, has written an excellent book about developing leaders. What does she say leadership takes? She says it takes paying attention to sense-making of yourself and of others. Those of us who work in this space, says Jenny, that's about developing leaders, find ourselves filled with admiration and affection for those who are doing their best. This becomes a virtuous cycle. Our stance opens us up to new possibilities and other people. As we do this, it leads other people to become bigger in our company and to become aware of those possibilities themselves. Spending time with people who are being their biggest selves is a delight that pulls us to be our most complex. That's the end of the quote. And I think today many of you are your biggest selves. My journeys from Victoria University in Wellington to Detroit and to Doha and back have been journeys of development of myself and for others. I've loved spending time with people who are being their biggest selves. And I love spending time with children whom I've helped to be their biggest selves. These are the rewards I treasure most. Today is the day when you're given a tangible reward for your work and study at university. You've gained a qualification that you can be proud of. Continue to do your best. Expect fair and just remuneration for your work. If you're a woman, and 2/3 of today's graduates are, I'm told, research says that you need to negotiate hard in the first years of your career, or your pay will fall behind your male peers. Be strong. Only you will look after you in these negotiations. And this is me speaking in my role, thinking about women and employment. As you go forward into the future, take pride in what you have done, but also spend time with people who are being their biggest selves, and lead others to become bigger in your company. Kia ora, hui hui mai tātou, tēnā koutou katoa.